Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of pennies, specifically the 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Could a simple penny from your pocket change be worth up to $1 million? Stick around to find out the incredible details behind this coin, why it's so valuable, and what to look for in your own collection. The Lincoln penny has been around for over a century, first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, certain pennies have skyrocketed in value, and the 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those surprising examples. But what makes this specific penny so unique and potentially worth $1 million? Asterisk first, let's talk about the no-mint mark aspect. Coins without a mint mark were typically produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike the Denver Mint, which uses a D mark, or the San Francisco Mint, which uses an S, pennies minted in Philadelphia are often left blank in this regard. Many people overlook these coins, thinking they're just common pennies. But certain characteristics of the 2008 no-mint mark penny have led collectors to pay big money for them. So why is the 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny special? The value comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and errors. While millions of these pennies were produced, some have unique errors that significantly increase their value. Error coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or other unusual imperfections, are considered rare and desirable by collectors. How could a penny possibly be worth $1 million? Well, the value of a coin is largely influenced by its demand among collectors. In rare cases, a 2008 no-mint mark penny in pristine condition, graded as mint state or higher, could be worth a fortune. Coins in such condition are usually uncirculated and have no signs of wear or damage. In fact, in rare auction cases, certain coins have fetched sky-high prices due to bidding wars among serious collectors. The combination of rarity, demand, and condition can make even the most common-looking penny fetch a staggering price at auction. If you're searching through your change, here are some key things to look for when identifying a valuable 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. One of the most famous errors: double dies occur when the coin is struck twice, resulting in doubled images on the coin, especially around the lettering or Lincoln's face. Off-center strikes occur when the penny isn't properly aligned during minting, resulting in a misaligned design. The more off-center, the more valuable it can be. These occur when the die used to strike the penny has cracks or breaks, causing raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining the value of your penny. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless, perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the penny. If your 2008 Lincoln penny is in near-perfect condition, it could be worth significantly more. Professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC can officially certify the condition of your coin, and having it graded can be a critical step in getting top dollar for it. Believe it or not, there have been cases where coins similar to the 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny have sold for hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars at auction. It's not just about finding a rare coin. It's about finding a rare coin that's in top-notch condition. We have a fascinating story that might just blow your mind. Can you imagine finding a penny in your pocket change that could be worth as much as $1.1 million? Well, hold on to your seats, because in this video, we're diving deep into the world of the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a humble 1-cent coin with a jaw-dropping potential value. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's get started. First, let's set the stage. The 1967 Lincoln penny is part of the famous Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny has been a staple in American currency for over a century. But what makes the 1967 penny so special? In 1967, the U.S. Mint was dealing with a coin shortage, and to simplify production, they decided to stop using mint marks on their coins for that year. So, if you have a 1967 penny, you won't find a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. These no-mint mark coins were minted in Philadelphia. How does a penny, worth only 1 cent, end up being valued at over $1.1 million? Well, not every 1967 penny is worth that much, but certain rare errors and high-grade specimens can fetch a fortune. One of the key factors that can make a 1967 no-mint mark penny worth big money is its condition. Coins that have been perfectly preserved, with no scratches or wear, are known as mint state or MS coins. The highest grade is MS 70, and coins that achieve grades close to this can be extremely valuable. These are mistakes made during production, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or even clipped planchets. Collectors go wild for these unique flaws because they're so rare. Now, here's where things get exciting. Some 1967 Lincoln pennies in pristine condition, especially those with rare errors, have sold for incredible amounts at auctions. In fact, one of the most stunning sales was a 1967 penny graded at MS 67 plus red, which sold for a staggering $1.1 million. This incredible price was driven by both the coin's rarity and its near-perfect condition. If you have a penny like this in your collection, it could be a life-changing discovery. Okay, so how can you tell if your 1967 penny might be worth a fortune? Here's a quick checklist to follow. Look at your penny's condition. If it looks fresh out of the mint with no signs of wear, it might be a higher grade. Consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Examine the coin closely for any minting errors. Look for things like doubling, off-center strikes, or other oddities. These errors can increase the value of the coin dramatically. If you think your penny might be valuable, it's worth consulting an expert or taking it to an auction house. They can help you assess its true value. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves checking their spare change, don't underestimate the value of the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. While not every one of these coins will be worth $1 million, the possibility of finding a rare gem is what makes coin collecting so exciting. We're talking about the rare and valuable 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the most sought-after coins by collectors. Stick around to find out why this seemingly ordinary penny is worth a fortune. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, celebrating one of the most beloved presidents in American history, Abraham Lincoln. But did you know that some pennies, like the 1968 no-mint mark penny, hold tremendous value to collectors? While most pennies from this year are common, some rare versions can fetch up to $1.2 million at auction. The 1968 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Typically, pennies from Denver carry a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco carry an S mint mark. However, the ones minted in Philadelphia don't have any mint mark at all. That's what we mean by no mint mark. So, what makes the 1968 no mint mark penny potentially worth over $1 million? It's all about rarity, condition, and unique errors that collectors drool over. While most 1968 pennies are common, a select few were minted in extremely high grades, which means they're in pristine, near-perfect condition. The value skyrockets when these pennies are graded as Mint State 68 or higher by professional coin grading services. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are not only rare but also in the best condition possible. A 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in Mint State 68 or higher is incredibly scarce. Combine that with a potential minting error or double die, and you have a coin that's worth a staggering $1.2 million or more. Now, let's talk about minting errors. Minting errors can make coins even more valuable, and the 1968 no-mint mark penny is no exception. One of the most famous and desirable errors is the double die error. This happens when the die strikes the coin more than once, causing doubling in the lettering or details on the coin. If you look closely at the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" on a 1968 penny and notice a shadow or doubling, you could be holding an error coin worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And don't forget to check for other errors like off-center strikes or missing details, which can also increase a coin's value. So, you might be wondering, how can I tell if my 1968 no-mint mark penny is worth $1.2 million? The first step is to carefully inspect the coin. Look for its condition. The shinier and more flawless the coin, the better. Next, check for any minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or any other imperfections. To really know the value, you'll want to get your penny professionally graded. Grading services like PCGS or NGC will examine the coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable your penny could be. A penny graded MS 68 or higher, combined with a mint error, could be worth that jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Over the years, rare 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln pennies in top condition have sold for huge sums at auctions. In fact, a few high-grade 1968 pennies have crossed the $1 million mark thanks to their pristine condition and rarity. These coins often attract serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. We're talking about one of the most exciting discoveries in the world of coin collecting, the 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a penny that's worth up to $1.4 million. That's right, a penny. Stick around to find out why this humble coin could be your golden ticket to riches. Before we jump into why this penny could be worth a staggering $1.4 million, let's first talk about the history of the 1982 Lincoln penny. 1982 was a unique year for the U.S. Mint, and it marked a significant transition in the composition of the Lincoln penny. Until that point, pennies were primarily made from copper. However, due to rising copper prices, the mint switched to zinc pennies coated with a thin layer of copper. That year, both copper and zinc pennies were produced, which is where things get interesting. Now, the copper pennies weighed about 3.11 grams, while the newer zinc pennies weighed only 2.5 grams. In total, there were 7 different varieties of the 1982 penny, including small date and large date versions for both metals. But the one that's making headlines and driving collectors wild is the 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. So, why is the 1982 no-mint Mark penny so valuable? In most cases, a missing mint mark doesn't automatically mean a coin is rare. Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint often have no mint mark, and that's pretty standard. But here's the twist. When a coin is made during a transitional year like 1982, errors can happen. These errors or variations are what drive up the value of certain coins. It's believed that a very small number of 1982 pennies were produced with a rare combination, no mint mark, and more importantly, they were made from copper, not zinc. This makes these coins extremely rare, as most of the no mint mark pennies that year were supposed to be zinc. Now, let's talk about how you can identify whether you have this rare, valuable penny. There are 2 key things you need to look out for: the weight of the penny and the date. First, the weight. Since the valuable 1982 no-mint mark penny was made from copper, it should weigh 3.11 grams, not 2.5 grams like the zinc pennies. You can easily check the weight with a digital scale at home or take it to a coin shop for help. Second, check the date. Make sure it's from 1982 and that there is no mint mark under the year. If your coin meets both these criteria, you might be holding a small fortune in your hands. Now, you might be wondering, why is this penny valued at $1.4 million? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. Only a handful of these 1982 copper no-mint mark pennies are known to exist, which makes them incredibly sought after by collectors. In fact, one of these pennies sold at auction for close to $1.4 million because it's such a rare find. The combination of a transitional error and a no-mint mark makes it one of the most desirable Lincoln pennies ever produced. Alright, so let's say you found a 1982 no-mint mark penny that fits the bill. What should you do next? Well, before you get too excited and list it for sale, make sure to have it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm whether your coin is genuine and provide it with an official grade, which is crucial when it comes to selling rare coins. Once authenticated, your next step is to look for auction houses that specialize in rare coins. Auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers are great places to sell high-value coins. They have a large base of serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for coins like these. So, who would have thought a simple penny from 1982 could be worth $1.4 million? It's incredible how some of the most ordinary coins can turn out to be treasures. Make sure you check your change, dig through your coin jars, and inspect any 1982 pennies you might have lying around. You never know. You might be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more exciting coin collecting tips and news. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos where we uncover more rare and valuable coins. We're diving deep into the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could potentially be worth $1.6 million. That's right, something as small as a penny could change your life. Stick around as I'll tell you what to look for and why this particular coin is worth so much. Before we jump into why your 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a fortune, let's take a quick look at the history behind it. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909, when it was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1973 penny was minted during an interesting time in U.S. coinage history. The United States Mint was striking millions of pennies annually, but only certain versions, like the one we're focusing on today, have made headlines for their extreme value. If you look at most coins, you'll notice a small letter on them known as a mint mark. These letters, D, S, or P, represent where the coin was minted: Denver, San Francisco, or Philadelphia. However, some pennies from 1973 don't have a mint mark, and that's where things get interesting. So, why does the absence of a mint mark matter so much? Well, typically, pennies without a mint mark are struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While this was common, certain batches of the 1973 no-mint mark penny are believed to be rare due to errors in their production. These errors make them incredibly valuable to collectors. Some of these rare coins have been preserved in near-perfect condition, and it's their rarity combined with their pristine condition that has driven prices sky-high at auctions. But we're not just talking about any 1973 penny here. Only specific versions with unique characteristics have been valued at up to $1.6 million. Now, let's get into what you really want to know. How to tell if your 1973 no-mint mark penny could be worth $1.6 million. You'll need to pay close attention to these key details. First and foremost, condition is critical. Coins that are in mint state, meaning they look almost untouched, are the most valuable. Look for any signs of wear or damage. A penny with sharp details, no scratches, and a shiny finish will be worth much more. Some of these high-value 1973 pennies have unique errors that occurred during the minting process. These could include things like double die strikes, where the coin was struck twice with the die, creating a slightly blurred or doubled image. Another important feature is something called full luster. This refers to the original shine that the coin had when it was first minted. If your penny still has that fresh, shiny appearance, it's worth a closer look. Some rare 1973 pennies were struck on a bronze planchet, which gives them a slightly different weight. A bronze penny weighs around 3.11 grams. Grab a small digital scale and check the weight of your penny. If it's a bit off, you might have something special. We're diving into an exciting discovery that every coin collector and enthusiast should know about. The 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a penny that could be worth up to a staggering $1.80 million. So, grab your coin collection or check your spare change because you might be sitting on a hidden treasure without even knowing it. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the penny has since become one of the most recognized coins in U.S. history. In 1980, Lincoln pennies were still part of everyday pocket change, and millions of them were produced by the U.S. Mint. However, some pennies from this year have unique characteristics that make them extremely valuable to collectors. A mint mark is a small letter on the coin that indicates where it was made. For example, pennies minted in Philadelphia usually have no mint mark, while those minted in Denver have a D, and those from San Francisco have an S. However, in the case of certain valuable pennies, the absence of a mint mark can indicate something extraordinary. For the 1980 penny, the absence of the mint mark, combined with other factors, can drastically increase its value. But this is only part of what makes this penny worth so much money. Errors or rare variations are often what drive a coin's value sky-high. Some of the 1980 pennies may have been struck with misaligned dies or have doubled dies, which means certain elements of the coin's design may be doubled. These kinds of errors are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. A 1980 penny found in mint state condition, meaning it has never been in circulation and is in pristine shape, is much more valuable than one that's been circulating for years. If your penny looks like it just came out of the mint, it's worth inspecting closely. The year 1980 marked the beginning of a transition in U.S. coinage. As the economy changed, so did the composition and production of pennies. This specific year was a period of flux in mint production, which means any error coins from this time could be incredibly rare. Now that you know why these coins are valuable, let's talk about how you can spot one of these million-dollar pennies. Check the front, obverse of the penny, just below the date. If there's no D or S mint mark, you've got a Philadelphia minted coin. Look for any errors such as doubling in Lincoln's face, the date, or the word Liberty. If the penny still shines and has minimal wear, you may have a coin in great condition. Any slight misprint, off-centering, or doubling could make your penny much more valuable. Before getting too excited, you'll need to authenticate and grade your penny. This is crucial because the grade or condition of the coin significantly affects its value. To get the most accurate valuation, consider sending your coin to a trusted grading service for authentication and certification. You may be wondering if a 1980 penny has ever sold for millions of dollars. While it's rare, coins like this have fetched high prices in auctions. Some Lincoln pennies from other years with similar errors have sold for 6 to 7 figures. For example, in past auctions, Lincoln pennies from other rare years have reached extraordinary prices, especially when there's a unique error combined with mint state condition. We're diving into one of the most exciting coins out there, the 1973 D Lincoln penny. Could you be holding onto a penny that's worth $1.9 million? Stick around, and we'll uncover what makes this coin so special and how you might strike it rich with one in your pocket. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1973 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark located just below the date on the coin. In that year alone, Denver produced over 3.5 billion pennies. With that many minted, you may be asking yourself, how could one be worth $1.9 million? So, what makes some of these pennies stand out from the billions minted? Comes down to rarity and condition. Most pennies in circulation from 1973 are only worth their face value. However, certain rare factors can skyrocket the value of a penny. First off, collectors are always on the lookout for error coins with minting mistakes like off-center strikes, double die errors, or improperly placed mint marks. These errors can turn an ordinary penny into a highly sought-after collector's item. The other key factor is the coin's condition. Coins graded as mint state, meaning they are in almost perfect uncirculated condition, can be worth much more than those that have seen years of wear and tear. Now, let's talk about the record-breaking sales. Recently, a 1973 D Lincoln penny sold for an astounding $1.9 million at auction. Why did this coin sell for so much? Well, the particular penny was in immaculate condition, earning it a high grading of MS68, which is extremely rare for pennies from this era. The flawless quality, along with the fact that error-free, mint-condition pennies from the 1970s are hard to find, drove up the value. Coins like these are every collector's dream, and they're willing to pay big bucks for them. So, how can you tell if your 1973 D penny is worth more than just 1 cent? Let's break it down. Does your penny look shiny and new, with very little wear? If so, it could be worth getting it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the more valuable it will be. Check for any signs of minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or a misaligned mint mark. These errors could mean your penny is extremely rare. If you believe you have a high-grade coin, it's essential to have it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service. This will give you an official grade, which will help determine its value if you decide to sell it. First and foremost, having your coin graded is essential to establish its market value. Without an official grade, it'll be harder to fetch top dollar. Rare coins like this are often sold at auctions. Research well-known auction houses that specialize in coins, such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, where many record-breaking coins are sold. Reaching out to trusted coin dealers or collectors can help you get a sense of how much your penny is worth and where to sell it. So, could you have a 1973 D Lincoln penny worth $1.9 million sitting in your change jar? It's not impossible. While these valuable coins are rare, they're out there, and with a bit of luck and knowledge, you might just find one. Remember, always look at the condition of your coins and keep an eye out for errors. Even if your penny doesn't fetch $1.9 million, many pennies from the 1970s are worth more than face value to collectors. Thanks for tuning in to learn all about the incredible 1973 D. Lincoln penny and its amazing $1.9 million value. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos on rare and valuable coins. We're talking about one of the most surprising and valuable coins ever found in circulation, the 1970 D. Lincoln penny. Did you know that some of these pennies have sold for as much as $1.1 million? That's right. If you have one of these rare coins, it could mean a massive payday for you. So, stay tuned as we break down exactly what makes this 1970 D penny so special, and how you can find out if your penny is worth millions. First things first, let's talk about the 1970 D. Lincoln penny itself. This penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, and at first glance, it looks like a pretty typical Lincoln cent. In fact, millions were produced that year. The 1970 D penny features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse or front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse or back. While most of these pennies are worth just 1 cent, there are a select few that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. And by top dollar, I mean up to $1.1 million. So, what makes a 1970 D. Lincoln penny worth more than just pocket change? The answer lies in a few key factors, including rarity, condition, and errors. Most of the 1970 D pennies were minted in typical fashion, but a very small number of them were struck with noticeable errors or differences, making them incredibly rare. Collectors always go crazy for rarity, and when it comes to coins, the rarer the error or variety, the more valuable the coin becomes. Condition is another huge factor. Coins that are in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, known as mint state or MS, are always more valuable than coins that have been in circulation and are worn or damaged. The higher the grade, the more collectors are willing to pay. If you have a 1970 D penny in pristine condition, you could be looking at a serious payday. Here's where things get really interesting. There are a few error varieties of the 1970 D penny that are worth major money. One of the most famous errors is the small date variety. Small date varieties occur when the date on the coin is slightly smaller than it should be. The 1970 D small date penny is one of the rarest and most sought after by collectors. If you have one of these, especially in high grade, it could be worth hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these valuable pennies? Great question. There are a few key things you need to look for to determine if your 1970 D penny is one of the rare ones. First, check for the D mint mark on your penny, located just below the date on the front of the coin. If there's no mint mark, that means your penny was minted in Philadelphia, and unfortunately, that version isn't as valuable. But if you see a D, you're on the right track. Next, carefully examine the date. The key to identifying the small date variety is to notice how the digits of the year 1970 are aligned. In the small date variety, the tops of the 7 and 0 in the date are level with each other. If you see this alignment, you may have struck gold, or, in this case, copper. Condition is everything when it comes to coin values. If your 1970 D penny has sharp details, a smooth surface, and minimal wear, it could be graded as a high mint state coin. The closer your coin is to mint state, the higher its value could be. Now, if you think you have a valuable 1970 D penny, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Coin grading is done by reputable third-party organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. These services will examine your coin, give it a grade based on its condition, and verify its authenticity. A high-grade 1970 D penny can fetch top prices at auctions. You might be asking, has a 1970 D penny really sold for $1.1 million? The answer is yes. In fact, The most famous sale of a 1970 small date penny in pristine condition made headlines when it sold for over $1 million at a major auction. We're diving deep into one of the most exciting finds for coin collectors, the 1979 Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $1.3 million. That's right, a simple penny in your pocket could change your life forever. Stay tuned as we reveal what makes this penny so valuable and how you can find one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our updates on valuable coins. First, let's start with a little background. The Lincoln penny was introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1979, pennies were a common sight in everyday circulation, with billions being minted every year. The D-Mint mark on the 1979 penny tells us that it was produced at the Denver Mint. But what sets this penny apart from others? Why would someone pay $1.3 million for a coin that most people don't even notice? The answer lies in its rarity, condition, and unique errors that occurred during minting. So, what makes the 1979 D-penny worth so much? As with many valuable coins, the key factors are rarity, condition, and the existence of minting errors or special characteristics. The first thing to look for is the condition of the coin. Most circulated 1979 D-pennies are only worth their face value of 1 cent. However, if you find one in mint state condition, meaning it has no visible wear and tear, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But that's just the beginning. Coins graded as MS-67 or higher are extremely rare. The closer to perfect a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. The highest grade ever known for a 1979 D-penny is an MS-68. Coins like this can fetch incredible prices at auctions. Now, let's talk about minting errors, the real treasure when it comes to the value of a coin like this. Errors during the minting process can create coins that are unique, making them highly sought after by collectors. If you have a 1979 D-penny with any of these errors, you could be holding onto something worth a fortune. It's these kinds of errors that can push the value of a penny all the way up to $1.3 million. So, how can you tell if your 1979 D-penny is the one worth over $1 million? Here's what to do. First, examine the condition of your penny. If it looks almost brand new and has little to no wear, you could be onto something. Next, check for any errors like a doubled image or an off-center strike. A high-quality magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help you see these details. Finally, if you think you've got a rare or valuable penny, consider having it professionally graded. A professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can officially assess the condition and value of your penny. Now, let's say you found a 1979 D-penny in pristine condition or with an error. What's next? How do you sell it for top dollar? Your best bet is to sell it at an auction. Rare coin auctions, both online and in person, attract serious collectors who are willing to pay big bucks for a coin like this. Make sure your coin is professionally graded to give buyers confidence in its authenticity and value. Some pennies have sold for over $1 million, but finding the right buyer is key. Reach out to reputable auction houses that specialize in rare coins, like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers.